Hello, let's discuss the revised Katarungan Pambarangay Law under Republic Act number 7160, the Barangay Justice System, Key Doctrines and Procedures. The Katarungan Pambarangay embodies the constitutional principle of promoting peace and order beginning at the grassroots. It is designed to resolve disputes swiftly, fairly, and economically at the barangay level without immediately resorting to formal litigation. Republic Act number 7160 or the Local Government Code of 1991 institutionalized this system, making conciliation a mandatory precondition to the filing of many civil and criminal cases in courts or government bodies. The intent is threefold. First, to decongest the clogged dockets of our trial courts. Second, to encourage the restoration of community harmony by resolving disputes among neighbors, friends, and family members. And third, to provide accessible and inexpensive justice consistent with the barangay's role as the basic political unit. Under the law, disputes between individuals who reside in the same city or municipality must first pass through barangay conciliation. This includes civil disputes and certain criminal cases where the penalty does not exceed 1 year imprisonment or a fine of 5,000 pesos. The lupong tagapamayapa, or what we call the lupon, and the pangkat ng tagapagkasundo, are tasked with facilitating mediation and conciliation. This requirement has been reinforced by the Supreme Court Circular number 14-93, which emphasized that failure to undergo barangay conciliation renders any subsequent court action dismissible for lack of cause of action or prematurity. The law acknowledges that not all disputes are suitable for barangay conciliation. For instance, the government cannot be made to appear before a lupon since it enjoys immunity. Disputes involving corporations or juridical entities are likewise excluded because their complex and impersonal structures extend beyond the barangay scope. Similarly, serious criminal offenses where the penalty exceeds 1 year imprisonment or fines greater than 5,000 are not within the barangay's jurisdiction. These exemptions highlight the barangay's focus on personal, local, and minor disputes, not issues of broader public or institutional concern. Some disputes demand immediate judicial intervention. If a person is detained unlawfully, filing for a habeas corpus cannot be delayed by barangay conciliation. Similarly, where time is of the essence, such as in cases with impending prescription or requiring provisional remedies, the law allows direct resort to courts. Additionally, disputes under specialized jurisdictions such as agrarian disputes under the Comprehensive Agrarian Reform Law or labor disputes under the Labor Code are excluded. This ensures that the barangay system does not intrude into areas where the law has already granted exclusive jurisdiction to specialized tribunals or agencies. Non-compliance with barangay conciliation requirements has serious consequences. If a party refuses to appear, he or she may be held guilty of indirect contempt of court, reinforcing the compulsory nature of barangay proceedings. More importantly, a case filed in court without prior barangay conciliation is dismissible on the ground of prematurity. This doctrinal rule ensures that barangay conciliation is treated not as an optional courtesy but as a jurisdictional precondition to litigation. Venue rules in barangay conciliation are strictly defined. Disputes arising between parties living in the same barangay must be conciliated there. If they reside in different barangays but within the same city or municipality, the proceedings are held in the barangay of the respondent. For property disputes, jurisdiction lies in the barangay where the property is located. This ensures logical and fair settlement, as the barangay, most directly connected to the disputes, is tasked with conciliation. Any objection to venue must be timely raised during mediation, otherwise, it is considered waived. The law does not sacrifice substantive rights for procedure. If liberty is restrained or when urgent provisional relief is needed, such as injunctions or temporary restraining orders, or when a case is about to prescribe, the parties may go directly to court. These are humanitarian and equitable exceptions that ensure barangay conciliation does not become a weapon of delay. Barangay settlement and arbitral awards have the force of final judgment once the 10-day period lapses without repudiation. After this period, the settlement becomes binding and enforceable through the lupon and eventually by the courts. In the case of Queiroz versus Arjona, the Supreme Court clarified that execution may be denied where circumstances render enforcement unjust or inequitable. This demonstrates that while settlements are encouraged for finality, fairness and justice remain paramount. Barangay settlements may be enforced by the lupon within 6 months from the date they become final. Beyond this period, the parties must go to the proper court for execution. The Civil Code further provides an alternative. Under Article 2041 of the new Civil Code, a compromise agreement may be rescinded if one party fails to comply. This dual character, being both a contract and a judgment, gives barangay settlements unique enforceability while preserving legal remedies for breach. Repudiation safeguards the voluntariness of settlements. An amicable settlement can be repudiated within 10 days on grounds of fraud, intimidation, or violence. An agreement to submit to arbitration can be repudiated within 5 days. However, once the pangkat issues an arbitral award, it cannot be repudiated before the lupon. The only remedy is to file a petition in court to annul the award within 10 days. This reflects a balance. Barangay decisions must be respected for stability, but genuine defects in consent must also be curable through judicial review. In summary, the Katarungang Pambarangay is a cornerstone of Philippine alternative dispute resolution. It emphasizes harmony over hostility and compromise over litigation. The key doctrines to remember are barangay conciliation is a jurisdictional requirement. Exceptions exist for governments, corporations, serious crimes, and urgent or specialized cases. Settlements become binding after 10 days unless repudiated, and remedies include both barangay and court enforcement. We're often tested by the interaction between exceptions and mandatory requirements, as well as the remedies for breach. The essence is this: barangay justice is not merely procedural, it is a constitutional and legislative policy designed to empower communities in the pursuit of justice and peace. Thank you very much.